Hello and welcome to Fit Life Radio, the place where you can learn a little bit more about how your body works and find new ways to improve your health. I'm your host Petio, and I hope to provide you with as much valuable information and inspire you to become a better version of yourself. Bonjour ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Fit Life Radio. Today's episode is Q&A episode in which I answer 5 questions from Quora. For those of you who don't know, Quora is a question and answer based platform where people answer many different types of questions, and they're expecting answer from experts or from people who have been through a lot. So I figured that if I answer some of those questions on the podcast, I might be able to help more people than the person who is asking the question. So recently I've been kind of more focusing on kind of diet and nutrition type, and today I chose 5 questions which are more kind of exercise or activity related. So without further ado, let's get started. The first question is, how can I help a family member lose weight? Now, that's a very interesting question. It's a question that I kind of get a lot, and I see a lot of people actually trying to figure out. The thing is, you can't, honestly. There are 2 ways, in my experience, to really help someone, and they're passive, and they're very slow, and they don't really guarantee success. Now, for those of you who for many people who work out, and they reap the benefits from exercising, they're always kind of like asking themselves, how do I help someone? How do I like they it's very possible that those people have family members, or those people have at least like close friends that they need some sort of help. And I get where that question comes from. I get that it's you do feel like you want to help, and really change someone's life to a better, because you do know how great it is to exercise. You do know how nice it is to fill your body with the proper nutritions, and to feel free, to feel pain free, to feel more energized and with better mood and stuff like that. So I do get it. The thing is that it's super hard, and it's almost impossible. I remember when I was there are 2 ways in my experience that are really great, and I'm gonna back them up kind of with stories of my own. Now, the first thing is to actually try to to communicate it effectively, but also to do it with that person. Now, if you just try to push that person to do some sort of exercises or to lose weight, that person is never really going to do it, because they already know it. They already know that this is not ideal for them, but they feel pressure all the time. They feel pressure from social media. They feel pressure from themselves, from friends, that they're fat and they need to lose weight and stuff like that. Trust me, like, I've been through this myself, and I talk from experience. Now, when I before I started, I was a really fat kid, and I was often kind of like bullied in school. I was often pushed from my family, especially from my family, to change, to go on a diet, to start eating less, to um, go to different sports, or like try different activities or whatever. And that wasn't very effectively communicated with me, because oftentimes that was more, or at least I felt like those people, or even though they wanted to help me, I felt like they're pushing me to do it. I felt like they're trying to change me based on their own ideas. And eventually I ended up just saying to my mom, well, I don't care. I'm gonna keep eating until I die. I'm gonna eat that much so I get that fat, and until I die from obesity or whatever. And of course, you can imagine how probably bad she felt. But that didn't change until I got injured and I had to stay home for about 3 months. Um, then my mom tried to communicate with me the fact that um, if I continue to eat the same way and not move because I can't, I will gain even more weight, and the thing is gonna get worse. So she suggested that we both go on some sort of diet, or we both try to kind of like eat less, or avoid certain foods which are not very ideal. And like essentially what we did is just like um, we cut the portions on half. We didn't eat any bread or pastries, and we drink only water instead of fizzy drinks or sugary drinks, and we avoided any sort type of like sweets or treats. And I did get, in fact, even though I didn't move much, I did lose about 5 kilos, which showed me that it is possible. But the biggest thing probably was that actually she decided to do it with me, and she was a support. She showed me that it is possible. She showed me that if I really want to achieve something, I just have to go through the struggle, and I have to go through the process, and eventually that's gonna happen. So my first advice for you is to like suggest to do it together. Like instead of trying to push that family member to lose weight or to do exercises or go on a diet or whatever, just try to suggest some activities that you do together. Try to suggest that you are going on a diet together, or you're trying to I mean, you know how I feel probably about my about diet. So not just like try to learn together more about food. Try to learn together more about how your body works in terms of nutritions and stuff. So so this person doesn't feel pushed, or doesn't feel like like he or she is supposed to change, and they just feel like you're actually truly trying to help, or you're inviting them on your own journey, which kind of brings me to the second point of the or the second advice is to just be a good example. Now, um, I learned that with experience, basically. I've been trying to get my dad off caffeine for a while, because he does drink like probably at least 5 coffees per day, or maybe that's an exaggeration, but like 3 or 4 coffees for sure he's getting per day, and some of them, like you would get like late at night, which is really not ideal, of course. As you know, caffeine is not very great for your overall health. And he's been kind of complaining from lack of sleep. He's been complaining that he doesn't sleep very well. He's like constantly tired. Like he's been like saying that he feels like he can fall asleep uh, anytime, and if he has a chance, if he could, he would just basically sleep forever. And I've been trying to talk about caffeine, and I've been trying to say that maybe that's due to the fact that he does drink a lot of caffeine or coffee, and I never really get it until, like, I remember once we traveled, and like we stopped to a petrol station, and he asked me if I want coffee because he was going to get one, and I was like, yeah, why not? It's not that late, but I would like to have a decaf because it's I would like to enjoy a coffee with you, but I had already one coffee today, and I feel like it's gonna be a little bit too much. So decaf is gonna have way less caffeine, so why not? And he tried it with me. He was I wasn't trying to push him to get decaf or anything. I just said what I would like and my opinion about it. So he did get decaf at that time, and I'm not sure if he actually liked it or not, but I mean, it was a coffee after all. The taste is almost the same. So, like few months ago when I was back in Bulgaria, we talked, and he actually mentioned that he's been trying to reduce the caffeine intake, and especially like drinking coffee late at night. And he was asking me if it's possible that this is the like that this actually helps him to sleep better, because he was saying that he's got a little bit more energy and he's sleeping a little bit better, and he doesn't wake up that tired the next day. So I was pretty happy to kind of explain him in more details how that works, and how caffeine affects the nervous system and the brain and the body, and that it's very possible that when you reduce the coffee intake, you're actually gonna get more energy than the opposite. So just by being good example for him even once, he I managed to get him to think about it and to try something else. So my point is that by showing people that need to lose weight how great you feel about not being overweight, or how but not pushing them, of course, or not trying to convince them, just like you know just just be you, just be you, like exercise and work out, have good relationship with nutrition, and just like you know kind of patiently wait and hope that those people one day are going to come to you and be like, hey, in fact, I envy you. Like, I see that you look really good, and you have a lot of energy, and I wish I can be like you. How can I be like you? Can you help me lose weight? Because I really want to lose weight, and I would like to be like you. So this is the time when you can actually truly help them and start explaining and start um, you know truly helping them. But before that, before they realize that they want it or they need it, you won't be able to get them. I know it's sad. I know it's not easy, and there's like this kind of like a controversy around, like, oh, I'm a fitness trainer and my family is it's my family is unhealthy, or there are family members that I can't help. Well, you can't help anyone, everyone. As like, if those people don't truly want it, you can't. And the only thing is to be a great example and wait for those people to call you and say like, hey, can you please help me? This is the best way so far, the best way I found. And like, try it out for a while and see how it goes, like, but really, like, don't try to push, and don't try to more effectively communicate it. That's the only thing that I can say. And if you really want to push a little bit further, you can try to do it together with those people. But the best is probably to just be a good example, and hope for the magic to happen. Now, second question: how do I get fit at home without paying for the gym? uh well, gyms are kind of getting more and more expensive these days, and I do get it, especially like small gyms and or small studios. There are some gyms that are pretty cheap, for about like 10 euros, or 10, like, I don't know if in America, I guess the you can find probably like really cheap gyms, but at least here in Europe, like, or in the UK, you could find gyms for like 10 pounds or 10 euros a month, which is, I mean, 10 euros a month to have full access to the gym. And some of them, like in the UK, I was paying 10 euros for a gym and it was 24 hours. That's pretty cheap, to be honest. That's really good. But you don't really need a gym uh, if you want to stay fit. Like, gym, it's a great place for a lot of people to start. Gym is a great place for people who don't like to engage in any other sports, to just kind of like find a way to exercise. Gym is also a great place for people who have some sort of disability, or they can't perform certain sports, because in the gym there's so many stuff that you can do. When it comes to exercises, there's so many machines that you can use to exercise different parts of your body and to stay active. But like, it doesn't have to be a gym. Like, you can find something. Like, I talk about that very, very often, because a lot of people, like, kind of, there's a misconception of this, like a rule that if you want to look fit or if you want to look great, you have to go to the gym. No, that's not true. Like, there are a lot of street workouts park. There are a lot of calisthenic parks. There's, like, I mean, you can even stay at home, like that, like you're suggesting or asking, and you can do a lot of stuff at home. Like, there's so many exercises that you can do at home and to be fit. And like, the thing is, to be fit doesn't really mean to look good or to look, like a bodybuilder. To be fit simply means that you have like a great ability to squat, you have a great ability to perform certain exercises with ease, or you have an ability to move throughout different ranges of motion and to go through your normal daily life without um, you know struggle or without having pain. So you can like a lot of those can actually be done with body weight correctional exercises, in other words mobility exercises. If you just simply care about being healthy and being having your joints healthy, you don't actually have to go and push yourself in the gym or like even push yourself outside of the gym. You have to just simply perform certain mobility exercises which are going to promote greater joint health, which are going to basically, what mobility is that you are finding and connecting to new ranges of motion to your joints, and you're making yourself more resilient to injuries, because most of the injuries happen not because we're not flexible enough, but because we go to certain ranges of motion, like for example we twist or we put um, something overhead, or we pick something from the ground and we don't know how exactly to move properly because we never move this way. And most injuries happen like when we get out of that, so quote unquote uh, comfort zone that we are used to live. So mobility is a great way to do it. There's so many correctional postural exercises that you can do at home. And if not, if you really want to push a little bit further and kind of like build some muscles, I always suggest like pick few bodyweight exercises. If you don't want to go to the gym, or if you don't want to go outside, if you're kind of like, if you like the comfort of your home, um, pick few bodyweight exercises and just try uh, to learn the skill of those exercises. Like for example, try to learn how to do deep bodyweight squat. For a lot of people, that's almost impossible without their knee caving in, or without like their heels coming up from the ground, or uh, without like having like this excessive butt wing. So, excuse me, like try to find a way to to learn those exercises. Like take a hand. You will say, oh, what about upper body? Do handstand. Like, can you do a handstand? If you can, that's great. But if not, I mean, it can take months to learn handstand, and that's a whole workout. You can take months to learn to do for example L-sit, and that's another workout. It can take months to learn to do proper push-up, and that could be a whole workout. Like here I gave you like 3 days. Like one day you can try to do squats, the other day you can try to do handstand, and the third day you can try to do push-ups. Right, so these are 3 exercises, 3 days, which you're going to practice 3 times a week. If you do it correctly, maybe you can even practice them 6 days a week. So twice per week you practice the same move. Like, think of it as a skill that you're trying to improve, and just be active. Like, I mean, you don't really need to do a lot of exercises to keep yourself active. Like, you can get a bike, or you can just go walking. Like, mm, for instance, even if I go to the gym and I go to do like bouldering or indoor climbing, uh, I like to walk towards those places. Like, we have a car and we have bikes, but I do like to walk because it takes me 40 minutes of walking to go to the climbing gym, and it takes me another 40 to go back. And this is activity. Like, this is 80 minutes or 1 hour and 20 minutes of just walking, which is promoting health, is promoting joint health. It just makes me move. It burns calories, if you will. So you can just simply do that. Like, being fit, it's a summary of so many different aspects. It's not only going to the gym and pushing like heavy weights. So there's so many different stuff that you can do. In fact, for example, like if you wish to do a pull-up and you have access to a pull-up bar, I have a guide that I wrote for. It's called the pull-up guide, which you can find for free and in my website, and you can use it to learn how to do your first pull-up, or you can use it as a guide to create your training around uh, you know perfecting the technique of doing a pull-up, because maybe you can do 1 or 2 pull-ups, but why not learning how to do 20 pull-ups? Or maybe why not learning how to do them properly, slow, with control tempo? That's gonna build a lot of muscles. Trust me, like each exercise is gonna build a lot of muscle as long as you just treat it properly as a skill. Now moving to the third question, how can a spotter help you boost your workout? Like, I mean, I'm not a great fan of spotters, um, just because I simply like to train alone. When I go to the gym, like that, like 1 hour or 2 hours is pretty much like my own time. When I focus on what I like to do, and I don't like to be distracted, or I don't like to talk with people or whatever. Even though I often do, but like having a spotter for me, it's a great way to boost your ego, and to it's I don't think it's a very healthy way to train. Now, in some cases, a spotter can be beneficial. For example, if you're going to, for your PR, you know, or you're trying your max, maybe a spotter could help potentially for you to not get injured. But I don't think you should be training to failure all the time. Like essentially, what spotter is, or what spotting is that you are taking, let's say you're doing a bench press, and ideally you can do like 5 reps with like 100 kilos, but you want to put 110 kilos. So now you're calling a spotter, someone who is going to help you, and you're going to push yourself. Your form is going to go out of the window, but that spotter is going to finally take you know maybe 10 to 15 kilos, so you will be able to push the weight. And at the end, you're gonna be left with the with the feeling that, oh, I was able to push 10 more kilos today. But in fact, did you? Or there was a spotter that actually helped you. And again, it depends how much that spotter helped you. Like, spotter for me, it's just it's there to support you, to spot you, uh, in case something goes wrong. But this is when you are like trying to do your max. This is when you're trying to lift weights that um, you've never done before, or when like where you're not prepared for, basically. And I don't see much value in sporting, because I don't think we should train to failure all the time. I think we should train within our range, um, not of comfort, but within our range of capability. So like, if you can do 5 reps with uh, like on the bench press, if you can do 5 reps with 100 kilos, I don't think you should put more weight. I think you should focus on trying to get better at those 5 reps. And if you can do those 5 reps with absolutely perfect technique, then maybe you should try to get 6 or 7 reps. And if you can do those 6 or 7 reps with perfect technique, then you can add a little bit more, but not 10 kilos and ask a spotter, but just like add a little bit more and try to go back to those 5 reps, for example. Like, I don't think that we should train with a spotter, because spotter is giving us comfort, and that comfort, it gives us more kind of like security, and a feeling that, well, if something goes wrong, it goes wrong, it's all right, there is a spotter that can help. There's nothing wrong with that, but to a certain extent, if we're trying to really push at our max. And people that really should push at their max as the professional athletes, not everyday people that are just trying to go and get better at certain move and the gym. I know it's hard, and I fall in this category, of course, because we are all, you know, ego driven, and we are trying to move heavy weights, and we are trying to impress others and ourselves that we can lift certain amount of weight or whatever. But there's nothing more beneficial or nothing better than a great technique. And if you need a spotter to move certain weight, for sure your technique is not great, and for sure you're not capable of moving that weight. So uh, go back, and there's gonna be more value in training within uh, your capabilities. So not like potentially what a spotter can do. Like I see for some people that they like to have like training buddy, or they like to train with someone. Now, oftentimes that can end up being a comparison or a competition, which is of course not healthy, because the only person that you should compete or compare is yourself, not someone else. So if I go with my buddy to work out, um, and he tries to impress me or he tries to lift something heavy, of course my ego is gonna be hurt a bit, and I would want to show him that no, in fact, bro, like I've been doing this for a while and I can do it better than you and stuff like that. You know how it works, especially you know men's are more prone to do stupid risky stuff, so not always ideal. But there are people that like to train with someone. There are people that do not go to the gym specifically for the reason that I go, like kind of like meditative exercising. There are people that just like to go to the gym and have fun time with some people, with some other people. So it could be it could be a great workout as long as you're leaving the ego like out of the gym. That's it. Now, fourth question: how can I be consistent in physical exercise and fitness? Well, yeah, like if you refer to a plateau, that's definitely annoying, and that's definitely something that can kind of like stop you from progressing. The thing is, a lot of people they use gym as a way to punish themselves. They use exercises and fitness as a way to just like hammer or punish themselves for the way they feel, or for their choices, or for mm, for the hate that they have towards them. Um, this often happens with like those kind of like heat session or CrossFit sessions that I see often. Is like people had, like, for example, oh, it was Friday. I had, like, I've been consistent for a whole week. I've been trying to get my calories dialed and everything, and then Friday night or Saturday night, like, I get fucked up with a lot of drinks, and like I ate pizza and a lot of bullshit, and then the next day I feel like crap because I didn't sleep very well because I had a lot of bad food and alcohol. So I feel so bad because I throw kind of like the whole week of exercise and consistency out of the window. So, like, I decided Monday I'm gonna go and just like hammer myself. I'm just gonna like fuck up my body with exercises to just punish myself, and like kind of, you know, um, mm, what's the word? Like, just just to make sure that I lose all the calories, all the extra calories that I got during that day, to make sure that I compensate for that. Um, well, you shouldn't really go to like with that mentality. Like, again, I think, at least for me, like, I used to feel like if I don't go to the gym, or if I don't do something, or if I don't move, I'm just, I'm not doing, um, like, I'm not working towards my goals. I'm not working towards my perfect looking body, or towards my perfect strength, or whatever. And I used to kind of like hate myself and feel like, if I don't go to the gym, I'm just like working against myself. Now, I learned to enjoy it that much and to appreciate it that much, where it's a necessity for me now to go and exercise or to go out and move, because I know that there's great benefits, because I love my body, I love myself in terms of, like, I want the best for myself, and I know that exercising and fitness is something that gives me that. Now, if exercise and fitness is like something that you don't really enjoy, I don't think you should do that. So it's normal to not be consistent, or to have hard time being consistent with physical exercises if those exercises are not your type of activity. But there's so many other things that you can try. You can try dancing, you can try bouldering, like, or indoor climbing, or outdoor climbing, or cycling, or swimming, or like, whatever you can think of. Like, just, you know don't try to associate physical exercises and fitness with punishment, or don't try to associate it with you know the fact that you should do it because you hate yourself and you need to change. No, it should be the opposite. You should do those physical exercises, um, because you love yourself, because you want to improve, because you want to give your body what it needs, because you want to make sure that your body is healthy, you want to make sure that your body is capable of those stuff. Like, I often try to give the example with the dog. Now, my dog, he loves to go and chase cars, but like, is that very healthy for him? Not really. So I'm stopping him from doing it because, like, obviously that's dangerous, and like he might get injured. So it's kind of the same, like, yes, your body may like to stay on the couch and eat potatoes and watch Netflix, but is that the greatest thing for your body? Not really. So, maybe you should push. Like, my dog also doesn't like to take the pills for parasites. But is it great for my dog not to have or that pills and to have parasites? Not really. So therefore, I need to make sure that he's taking them. Whatever it takes. So it's the same with exercises. Like, try to find a good reason, try to find the like the way to love your body and to give your body what it needs through physical exercises. And another thing to be consistent is just to kind of like take an exercise and doing and like try to perfect it. This is probably one of the the most common tips that I give to to most of the people, because they're often like, oh, I don't know what kind of routine I should follow. I've been following in this sort of split, and I feel tired. I don't really like it. I'm not sure if I like upper body, lower body splits. I don't like legs days. And I'm like, look, take few exercises, like take 3 exercises, and just work towards getting better at them. Like, take a squat, for example, and try to make sure that your squat is perfect. Work towards it. Maybe that means that you need to work on your glute activation. Maybe that means that you need to work on your like ankle mobility, or maybe you need to make sure that your feet are better primed, or like your arches are working correctly. So like, try to make sure that you're doing this exercise perfectly with a perfect form and technique, and this is gonna give you kind of like a motivation to go and perform it. Because if you just look at an exercise as a form of punishment, or a form of like way to lose calories, I mean, you might just as well go and like run on the treadmill, or just like go outside and walk for I don't know, 3 or 4 hours. It's gonna be the same, right? But when you're gonna get way more benefits of actually doing squats. So one way to be consistent with squats is to actually have a different goal. Instead of like, oh, now I do have to do squats, maybe you can switch to like, I want to get better at squats. Today I need to work on my mobility so I can get better at squats. Today I'm gonna go and practice squats so I can work towards perfecting that move. It can be deadlift as well. Don't just think about like the punishment of the exercise that and the pain that you feel after. Just think about the move. Think about the perfect way to move that weight. So like, eventually this way you will be able to progress further, and to stay more consistent. Mm. Now, the last question for today is, what fitness component is walking? Component, I think. What fitness component is walking? Um, well, I think I'm gonna start from a little bit, I'm gonna give a little bit different kind of direction here, and just say that walking is everything. Now, it's not a way of exercising, even though it's a physical activity. But I think walking is something, uh, like, I would even compare it to breathing. Like, we evolved to be able to walk for so many years. Like, I think now humans have been around on Earth for for somewhere around 150 million years, and they've probably been walking for a good 100 million or something like that. So we evolved to be able to walk, and we evolved to walk all the time. So I don't think we should look at walking as a way of exercising, but just like a way of as an activity that everybody should do and everybody is capable of doing. And if that is something that you can't really do, I think you should focus on trying to improve it, because it's something so basic. It's something so you know something that is really really important for us, right? So I think looking at it as an exercise is kind of like going to make the you know it's not really going to benefit you much. But your question is, what fitness component is walking? Well, it can be a cardio, and it's more it's apart from basic activity or movement, I think it's a cardio based activity. So it's going to mainly work on your cardiovascular system and your endurance. So like if you can walk for 1 hour and you try to walk every day, at the end of the month you will be able to walk for 2 hours without having a problem. So uh, it's I would say that it's probably like more towards cardio based activity and endurance. It's gonna give you like kind of stamina and endurance. But it's such a basic activity that it's not going to send the same, uh, you know, cardio type adaptation as running, for example. It's not really going to. I mean, if you walk for like 10 hours a day, yeah, for sure, that's gonna send a very good like, you know, kind of like cardio based signal to the brain saying that we need to get rid of the muscles and we need to kind of like keep those fats, because we don't really have much energy from outside, and we're losing a lot of energy here, and we need to be efficient. So if we have to walk that much, we're gonna have to get rid of some of our engines, basically, some of the calorie burning stuff. So we're like walking the same amount, but we are burning less food or energy. So in terms of that, of course it can be used as a endurance or cardiovascular activity, but as long as you don't overdo it, of course it's not gonna send the same signal. That's why walking is one of the greatest way um, to get your overall activity higher, and to also like it's a greatest tool to probably use to kind of like lose fats. And this is how I use it. Like I like to walk, like I'm working towards building muscles. Like I rarely go on a cut, I rarely do cardio, like like type of running and stuff. um, to lose more fats, or and to keep myself active, I just like to walk. As I mentioned in the beginning, I would just like instead of taking a bike or a car, I'm gonna go to the bouldering gym, like, and that's gonna be 40 minutes walking, and that's gonna be another 40 minutes going back. So I would just use it to stay active. I would just use it to also like burns like certain amount of energy without sending a very loud uh, cardio based signal to the brain saying that we need to get rid of the muscles. So I'm constantly sending the muscle building signals by going to the gym, but walking is just a great way to burn some extra calories without sending this cardio adaptation to the brain. So again, yes, it's a cardio based activity, but it's the signal that you're gonna send is not as loud. And you like, if you walk for like, I don't know, 5, 6, 10 hours every single day, then you're gonna have the same effect as if you do 2 hours of running every day. But as long as you kind of like doing it appropriately and like not overdo it, and I think it's pretty hard to overdo it. I mean, you can walk for like 1 or 2 hours every day. That's something that pretty much everybody can achieve, but not many people can actually walk like more than 3 hours straight every single day, or in total every day, unless their job is not requiring them to do that. So um, yeah, it's gonna train your cardiovascular system, it's gonna train your endurance. um, but it's a great thing to do, honestly. Like, walking should be the first priority of every single person who tries to improve in any sort of direction, or like try to get more active. First, walk, and be mindful of how you walk. Think about like the position of your feet, how you step, the position of your knees. Like, do you place the weight more forward towards your toes, or more like back on your heel? How does that feel on your low back? Does it have a huge impact? What kind of shoes are you using? Why you have low back pain when you walk and stuff like that? It's a great way to start being active, and it's one of the most basic activities that humans have been doing for so many years, and it's a great thing. Look, guys, if you like the information that I provide you, feel free to head over to fitlifeblueprints.com and check my services that I provide. Like, I have a blog there where you can read and you can learn more about how your body works. There are plenty of free resources which you can download for absolutely free, and you can benefit and try to um, you know follow. For example, like the pull-up blueprint or the pull-up guide is there, which you can I talked about it, and you can use to uh, simply improve your you can use it to work out at home or somewhere else, and you can use it to get more consistent, in terms of exercising. I also wrote a book called The Blueprint of Health. It's available on Amazon, and if you're interested, go and check it out. It's a very tiny book. It's an ebook only. It's a small book, but I think it has a great value, because it's got like it consists of 21 different aspects, which if you choose to go on a fit life journey, those aspects are worth you know they're worth addressing, and they're worth changing. So it's more of a guide that you can follow throughout your journey, and you can go back and refer to it when you kind of like fall off the wagon or something like this. I also offer online coaching. If you think I provide interesting and valuable information, and you feel like you would like to work with me, or you would like me to coach you with your journey, feel free to contact me. Like, we can schedule a free call. We can talk about your goals or your ideas, and we can try to find something useful for you. It doesn't mean that we are going to straight start working together, but if we do, I'm going to focus my energy only on educating you towards food, nutrition, and movement. I'm never going to give you strict diet plans, or I'm never going to give you like strict workout plans and like push you to go to the gym. We are going to work on just improving our quality of lifestyle, which is I think it's something that's going to benefit pretty much everyone. So this is it for today, guys. Thank you so much, and see ya. Thank you for tuning to Fit Life Radio. I hope you learned something useful, or at least had a bit of color to your commute. If you enjoyed the show, please share the love by introducing it to friends and family. And if you don't mind, please leave a review on your favorite podcasting app. Thank you for your support, and until next time, stay fit.